Good morning, or afternoon,
Or evening.
or evening. We're live or in the archive. My name is Ian,
I'm Lauren.
and we're Bars and Bells. And today we invite you to add play to your day with your body weight and work on strength and stretches for fun, for function, and for fitness. Start on our all fours, checking in with that head and neck.
It's a lot of F's.
It's a lot of F's. So, wrists in extension, we have the fingertips wide open with those blood donations facing forward. Shoulders are pulled down and our head and neck is looking straight between the hands there. Slowly pull the crown of the head away from the body as you do a gentle chin tuck. It shouldn't show the shape too much, nor should it be too intense, but the chin tuck complemented with the extension or looking forward. From forward, pull in those deep flexors of the neck as we tuck the chin towards the sternum, pulling the crown of the head long. And then repeat one more time, face forward or extension on the neck. Return to looking between the hands. Next, laterally flex at the neck, ear to shoulder. Isolate that it's only the neck moving and the shoulders and the core stay nice and stable. I've gone from the left to center, and now I'm on the right to center. And again, for today, we'll do that once more each side. Pull the armpits low, gently flex that neck, and say a little hello. Then look between the hands straight on. Next, I'm going to rotate over my right shoulder to look towards Lauren. How do you do?
How do you do?
And then looking at those hands, the crown of the head is still pulling long as we add a rotation to the other side. And then look between those hands. And last one, rotate. Alternate direction. Center. Last one, rotation. Center. And then push the floor away and wiggle out those wrists. Take those hands, clasp them together, and just get a little bit of some wrist rolls going here. My right hand is being passive. My left hand is doing the action. I'll switch directions now.
Mine are both doing work.
Both doing work. That's okay too. Feel it out. Then just open up those hands, place them back together, and then alternate. So my right arm is doing the work now. My left hand is being more passive. One or two more repetitions in that direction, and then we'll switch. Nice and slow as well. How do the wrists feel after the extension pose? A little bit of a wrist roll. Let's go back to those hands or wrists. From here, let's pay attention to the shoulders. Shoulders could shrug or elevate to the ears.
I don't know.
Press the floor away. Pull the armpits down towards those hips or scap depression, and then retract or squeeze together. Can we do that one more time? Elevate the shoulders as a shrug. Press the floor away from underneath those armpits. Pull them back down to the hips and finish in retraction. Then let's go the other way. So that means pull them down to the hips with straight elbows, then push the floor away, elevate or shrug, and then retract. And final one, from retraction, we'll go down. From down, we'll press the floor away to protract the shoulder. Elevate next, retract, and then push the floor away and get to that tall kneel. Next, I'm going to give Lauren a little bit more room as we hands out to the side. Bending on the elbows, can we get the hands to touch the tops of the shoulders? Then we'll open up, turning the palms towards the ceiling, and do about 3 more repetitions. The elbows stay in the same position. The palms turn to face the ground. They turn to face the ceiling. And one more time in that same direction. Brush the tops of the shoulders, rotate to open and extend. And then let's switch. As we bend the elbows, the palms face the floor. Return the hands out front. Turn to the ceiling, bending the elbows, palms face the floor. And then one more repetition, same thing, to turn open, to bend, cross the tops of shoulders, straighten. Shake that out. One more time to play with our spine here. Back to all fours in that wrist extension. Fists or neutral wrists could also be appropriate if your wrists are having a little bit too much excitement or feelings in the extension position. So now place that attention in the tailbone. My front of my hips is spilling my punch bowl forward and my tailbone is pointing to the ceiling. From here, I'll pull my hands to the knees, talk to those lowest abs, and try to round exclusively the low back, pulling on the abdominals to flex the lumbar spine. From there, push the floor forward and tip your tailbone back towards the ceiling. Then slowly pull the hands and knees together, and from the deepest place on your abdominals on the front, pull and continue to round through the low back, making sure that upper back stays nice and extended. Then push the floor away to tip the tailbone to the ceiling or the front of the hips towards the floor. From here, I'll find a neutral place in my spine, which is a little bit of that tuck under. Brace for tension and safety and strength. And then round the upper back or through the rib cage, and then push the sternum forward or get the extension pose in the upper back. Slow, do the same thing, rounding or flexing through the rib cage. Things to ask, are the shoulders retracted or are they pushing the floor away? Which one should we be, Lauren?
Retracted.
Retracted. Keeping the head movement to a minimum. And just try that one more time. Flexion or rounding through the rib cage, spine, and then that extension of pushing our heart forward. Then again, let's press the floor away and get up to our tall kneel. How does that upper body feel so far?
Good.
Feel ready to rock?
Yes.
All right. Let's take a quick moment, work on that toe squat series. And for today's practice, we'll be spending most of our time with our crawls and some fun Shiko or sumo-inspired squats, and maybe some time to play with our handstand at the very end. Let's get like Lauren, and can you cue us through fun little toe squats?
Have a seat down here. Toes are pointed out the back. And then from here, squeezing both cheeks. Extend those hips forward. Tuck your toes. And let's just sit back on those for a second. Pushing hips through or back, driving down into toes. Now use your toes and your glutes to press and extend. And then we'll rock back a little bit this time with or without hands to come back to find your heels first. So heels heavy, knees pushing over toes, as low or as high as you need to be here, and then standing up tall. From here, let's find our first two-legged balance. So pressing the floor away to grow up, pulling your kneecaps up, pushing down, ankles in tight. 3, butt squeezed, abs braced. 2, slowly lower to your heels, keeping your knees nice and straight. Slow, 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 slow. Good. Then keep your heels heavy as your knees push over your toes. And stay here. And for 1, can you extend your hips so you create a long line from your knees, your hips to your shoulders? And then try to find your toes a little bit here. I want you to go as low as you can in this position. And when you can't hold that anymore, pull your butt back under you. Sink low, soft landing, extend both hips through, untuck your toes, and sit back down. We'll do that one last time, not fast, not slow, just right. Squeeze your butts, extend your hips, tuck, rocking back with or without, find those heels. Chest is lifted, nice long spine, then press the floor away, grow up to your two-legged balance and hold. 5. 3, knees straight. 2, keep those knees straight as you slowly descend. And then right away, try pushing those knees forward, but keeping those hips extended for as long as you can. Then heels will have to leave the floor. Keep that position. And when you can no longer keep that position or keep it, when you can no longer keep that position, drop those hips under you. Knees touch, extend hips, untuck toes, and sit back down. Whew. Nice.
Like that.
Just like that.
Let's play with our crawls today. We'll start with our bear crawl and work on the hands. Let's do it. So set up in your all fours position. Keep the knees on the floor for beginner progressions or commit to a full hover for those advanced students. I'll be working from my knees first. From here, with my left hand, I'm going to push like a first knuckle push-up. Finish by flicking my fingers, reach out front, and land fingertip, knuckle line, heel. Then, same thing other side. Use the hand to push and accept that floor. Then again, same thing. Lauren's in her full hover. I've took a stride with my knees on the floor, and then I'll hover, hold for a second, put my knees down, and then same thing. Articulate through that hand, land, fingertips, first knuckles and heels, perhaps hover.
Palms of your hand.
And down.
When he says heels, he means the palm of your hand.
Palm. Sorry, my bad. Then fingertips, first knuckles and down. And for the added bonus, try to go backwards like Lauren. Last one or two. And then from here, take your time. Let's push that tailbone to the ceiling. And Lauren, can you take over your nice down dog?
So keep your knees bent. Press the floor away so you have those elevated shoulders. With your knees bent, tilt, and your heels don't have to be down. Tilt your tailbone long to the sky. Then keep that tailbone exactly where it is and try to straighten your knees. No rounding your low back. Hold, breathe. Then rebend your knees. Re-tilt your tail to the ceiling. Keep pressing the floor away and try to straighten again. Breathe. And one more time. Bend those knees. Re-tilt tail to ceiling. Try to gently straighten, pressing the floor away. And then, are we going down or up, Ian?
We're going up.
Walk your hands towards your feet. Use your hips to unhinge. Stand up tall. Whew, whew.
There we go. So working in our sumo-inspired movements or the Shiko squat. A sumo stance is approximately 2 shoulder widths of yours. So 1 and 2. Set that up. Slowly push your feet into the floor, cramping those glutes. Then slowly pull the heels together, exciting those adductors. And then shake it out. From here, the commitment is to come back to your sumo stance, but perhaps to get lower. And for fear of kicking my best friend, I'm gonna back up a little bit. From here, pull those heels together to sit in your squat. Hands, hit those VM muscles. Balance on a single leg. Pull up, nice and slow to extend, and then toe ball heel and power up to the other side. Pick up, nice extension, toe ball heel. That's 2. Let's go 4 more. As we go through this, we can start to break away from the ballet and get more into the sumo. What does that mean? So instead of keeping the hips level, we can try to play with our angles here, challenge those balances in those different positions, nice and control. That's my 6. And then I'll stand up and wiggle it out. Lauren, prep those hamstrings, hands, shoulders, pressing the floor away very nicely for our next crawl today, being our elephant crawl.
Coming down, again via your hinge. Sorry, sometimes I sneeze when I go upside down. Use your hinge, hips go back, shins vertical, hands start to walk out, finding the floor. You'll leave your heels. Now just find that same position we did before. So knees bent, tilt your tail to the ceiling, pressing the floor away. Gently try to straighten the knees. Most importantly, keep the tailbone tilted up. No rounding that low back. If you'd like to go for an adventure, opposite hand and foot, take that step, and then place down at the same time. Step, place down. Step, place down. That tailbone is still long, not rounding through our low back. Breathing, thinking as we lift that leg, it kind of lifts up into that hip socket. Up into that hip socket for 4, 3, 2, and then feet come together. Bend those knees, tail long, and slowly walk your hands back to your feet, and then extend your hips to tall. Whew.
There we go. 6 Shiko squats. Pull yourself into your safe low position. Hit those legs for fun, for noise, for stimulation. Slowness is hard. Balance. Same thing. Nice and control. 6 repetitions. Start low. Own that balance in our low position first. Power up. Low positions first. And as we get confident with that, we can start to break some of those rules, take our body on a tilt, down, and then one last time. It is amazing how you start to focus on one thing. And I forgot to slap my legs.
That's okay.
Shake it out. One final crawl for today. We saved the least favorite for the end, the crab. The crab. Let's get down into a squats position. Can you join me in a squat? Then take one hand, place it behind. Other hand, place it behind. And then from here, keep your butt low. Keep your elbows as straight as you can. They will bend a little bit. But really think again about using those hands. Keep your bum low for a couple more seconds here. And then let's lift our hip up. And personally, I can't move too far here, so let's just hold a nice little bridge or crab pose for a couple seconds longer. And then pull yourself back towards your squat. Transfer the weight off the hands. And then stand up. Let's do one more Shiko squat to just break up that repetition on the arms, and we'll finish with our minute of fun. Pull yourself low, last repetition each. Hit those legs, take your time.
Are we going low or high? Because last time you started high, then you went low.
Yeah, whatever feels good for you.
Okay.
Nice and slow. And again, it's not necessarily easier to go low. You might learn some new stuff, but one and one, and then let's stand up. I know Lauren is itching to do at least one handstand today. So for our last minute together today, practice one of the drills that we did for 1 full minute, maybe. Or
crawl, so that means a crawl, bear crawl, an elephant crawl, a crab crawl, a squat if you really want to. For
kick up in your handstand for a minute.
Or kick up in your
face a wall and work on our endurance.
Here we go.
But for 1 full minute, trying to fill 1 minute of handstanding, making sure we have enough room here. 3, 2, go.
Are we timing?
From the 7.
I got it. Put those legs together.
I know, I'm finding
Nice.
it. I'm finding it. Oh, let's get that again. Ooh. Sometimes it goes according to plan, and other times you gotta work a little bit harder.
About 10 more seconds of fun. Or if you're done your fun like me because you quit while you're ahead and your wrists are saying that's enough. Ooh. Soft landing from what you're doing. 1 minute of fun.
Shaking it out. So Lauren and I use those drills like the crawls to help us build the skills, the endurance, and the strength to help us in our handstand. As I said, sometimes it works. Sometimes you need to reset. Lauren over here sounded like it was pretty good.
Yeah, I did have a good morning there.
Right on. So thank you very much for joining us today at our handstands bodyweight practice, or as it's also known as the lunchtime lift, or add play to your day. Doesn't matter what we call it, but build strength, be body aware, and take care. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
Together we're Bars and Bells. Stay strong, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.